Today is really a time to honor and get input on significant investments in this area that have only come because of a strategic and continued and sustained partnership between the city and the county and the other groups represented predominantly by the public stepping up, which is CERT, which is COPE, which is Nuestra Comunidad, which is a lot of the other ones that are out here. So today is really about not just aspirations, because we're going to be touring a variety of different projects that showcase things we are delivering on, commitments of money or funding or contracts that are ongoing. And I want everybody to understand that the difference between cutting a ribbon and doing something authentic is also about steering any of these in the right direction so they actually fit the needs on the ground. I have a personal belief that everything that is done needs to really connect with ground truth for all of these. So what we're going to do is first we're going to talk a little bit here about the Emergency Resilience Center, which is the location over there that we've secured with a 10-year lease from SMART to be able to function as a hub to support Resilient Cloverdale and others. Then we're going to talk a little bit about, we're going to allow Jeff and crew to kind of take us through the CERT emergency trailers on the SMART station and what are the needs of the CERT program. I think this is a perfect place to start with resilience. But then, you know, the rest of today, there's going to be others that join us and some people that leave because we're going to get into other issues. We're going to first start by leaving here and we're going to go to the radio tower, where we've done a significant investment into the repeaters, into the connection with the community that works with the ham radios and others, but also our ability through Sonoma Public Infrastructure to have the resiliency and the well, let's just say the ability to manage our own system that is also works with the sheriffs and first responders and others, but also allows us to address issues that you all know are very real during disasters. It's road management, it's, you know, trees falling, it's all these other issues that Johannes and crew have really stepped up in. After that, we're going to go and kind of start to look at some of the open space, not as much like disaster management and resilience, but we're going to go take a look at some of the significant investment that we're all making into people being able to enjoy this place, right? For many years, I would say this mid-reach of the Russian River was really locked away aside from a few places for the public. It wasn't like the lower river, which was the revelries of the 20s and 30s, San Francisco coming in and all the beaches. And so we have made a significant and sustained impact with the city of Cloverdale to focus on expanding and improving River Park over here, to creating the first new regional park in Sonoma County, which is going to be over at Preston, which is Russian River Parkway. And then towards the end of the day, we're not going to get onto the property, but we're going to be able to talk about the lighter property up here that Mayor Lands has really championed with us on going after for ag and open space. And that is a huge benefit to everything from fire management and risk reduction. That's going to be a full park that connects with the existing over at Del Webb Preserve up there. And so we're talking about surrounding this community now with strategic fire buffers and management, but also access to open space. So I mean, this is the magic, is to have lands that are working lands, that are not just lands that are set aside and grow noxious weeds and others, but you're actually managing them. And you're going to hear about firsthand from the mayor and a lot of others about what we're doing to manage everything from homeless encampments in the river to vegetation to you know, upgrading parks and other systems. This also comes with a discussion with Johannes Hovertz on the build out of the bike and pedestrian access on the First Street Bridge, which is a 10, 15, 20-year issue. You know, it's dangerous. And we are out to bid. And so we do plan on that not only delivering, but also we're able to allocate from our office and some of the funds that the board is using from last year, an additional about $300,000 to $500,000 to upgrade that parking lot that connects to it. So we're creating all of these connections in between Asti Bridge, River Road, down onto Crocker Street Bridge, the river access there, paving geysers up in the area, putting a park there, paving McCrae, coming down onto this section, the Lida property. You know, we're really surrounding this area with an intense, dedicated investment into community empowerment and also protection. So for me, this is this is the exciting stuff. I mean, we've all worked for years to do this, and so these projects are actually delivering. So I just wanted to quickly, as I pass it over to the mayor, just say, so the Smart Station Resilience Center, which is over there, this is a project that we'll talk about. It's about $116,000. That's just for the basic lease on it. The Fire Watchtower is another $250,000, but securing that property and others is on top of that. The Russian River Parkway, which is the Preston Park that's being built out, is about $1.5 million that we were able to secure. The road paving for all the roads that I've talked about that we've done and through 2025, that's another $5 million into this area. The Cloverdale River Park enhancements, as I said, that's going to be $300 to $500 that I'm able to allocate out of a community investment fund. The Cloverdale River Park expansion, as we've talked about, is another $250 to $300. We've done veg management in that area also. It's about 120 that we've done recently. We have the Veterans Hall, not only the swimming pool upgrade and cover, but then we also have the Veterans Hall, another $500,000 that's going into an emergency generator that's going to be utilized there. You're talking about those combined being about $1.3 million. The Soda Springs Open Space Preserve, which is the LIDA property, is another $2.5 million. We have put, what I didn't talk about is, I was able to secure $1.5 million in general fund money to go towards the Asti Environmental Bridge. I have a letter given to me by Frank Crevillo, is that how you pronounce his name? From 1912, I believe it is, from the Cloverdale Chamber of Commerce, requesting, is it 24? Mm-hmm. Oh, so next year will be 100 years from the request.
Yeah. I've got
so
the evidence.
Requesting an Asti Bridge from the county in 1924.
Yeah.
That $1.5 million will get the environmental work done, and then we're going to go after a bond, not grant funding. We're going to try and get grant funding, but with Johannes and others, we're going after also a bond, which is a loan in government talk, and a district formation that they'll contribute, which will support the build out of a $20 to a $30 million bridge over on Asti. I would not have fought for $1.5 million to go to environmental studies if we weren't committed and convinced that we could deliver on that project. Because if you do the environmental studies and you're not convinced you can do the project, then it just disappears. And that's $1.5 million we could have put into roads or other things, but that is vital infrastructure. The only reason we've been able to do any of this stuff is because Todd, Jeff, others have mobilized, have organized people and done other stuff. So this is a day to not just celebrate, but to look at how we steer these things and for your input. But I'd encourage people to raise your hands if you have any questions, or once we stop in between speakers, we'll also allow some Q&A so that you can also state follow-up you need or whatever. Mayor.
First off, I want to say thank you for all being here this morning. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all the volunteers and the people who put in all the hours and the hard work to make projects like this happen. Supervisor Gore said it best. We're not here for the ribbon cuttings. I could care less if my picture's ever in a newspaper for something good. If we get the projects for our town and for our community and for our people to keep them safe, to keep them happy, and keep everybody just thriving, that's what it's about. And we wouldn't have it without the collaboration between the volunteers and the county and the city and everyone that puts in, whether it's an hour or 100 hours, we're all here taking part in it. And that's why you're all standing here, because you're proud of your city, you're proud of your county, and you're proud of what you've accomplished so far. And we're trying to create, my vision is a destination that also at the same time keeps us safe. So we're creating a buffer around our town to keep our community safe while we can enjoy that same buffer. Whether it's the natural resource of the river, your mountainsides with your hills and trails, we're gonna have hiking, biking, horses, everything you could ever want here. It will also bring people here to spend money and create a better town through their tax base. So thank you all again, that's what I'm excited about.
Thank you.
As we talked about, the projects that I listed are somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 to 20 million that's dedicated towards this. All this work is about impact. That's the story of it. And we could talk about, ultimately, $60 million if we get all these done. But the real thing is we want to demonstrably prove risk reduction and community resilience. One thing goes down, the other thing goes up.